Bills keep coming, emails still need answers, and deadlines don't care that your heart is broken. Today, we're diving into the reality of being a functional griever and what it looks like to keep living when part of you feels broken. Welcome to Highlight Your Healing. I'm Shannon Roan, grief coach and founder of J&J Journals. This podcast is for women navigating grief and learning to heal with faith. So let's just jump right in. Grief doesn't put your life on pause. It doesn't ask if now is a good time. You're still expected to show up, work, take care of your family, answer messages, and keep everything together, even on the days when you feel like you're falling apart inside. And by the end of this episode, you'll understand how to navigate your daily responsibilities while grieving. And I'm going to give you some practical ways for balancing loss with life. And most importantly, I want you to know there's nothing wrong with you for grieving and functioning at the same time. Now let me paint the picture, because I know some of y'all are going to see yourselves in this. A functional griever is the woman who's hurting, but she keeps moving. She wakes up, goes to work, makes breakfast for the kids, but the moment she's alone, that's when the wave of sadness hits. She's the woman who can smile in public and cry in the car. She's doing her job, but her brain feels scattered. She's answering text messages, but emotionally, she's checked out. She's tired, exhausted, but keeps telling everybody she's fine. Have you ever been there? Where you're handling life, but inside you're thinking, Lord, I can barely keep it together. And if that's you, I want you to know something. You're not crazy. You're not weak. You're grieving and living at the same time. And that is one of the hardest things a person can do. Let me tell you some of the reasons why so many women become functional grievers. 1, life doesn't just stop because you're hurting. Jobs don't stop, the bills don't stop, and their kids will always be there. And the responsibilities keep going even when you feel stuck. 2, we were raised to be strong. Some of us grew up seeing our moms and our grandmas being strong, so that's the only thing we know how to do. To be strong for our families, strong for our kids, strong for everybody else but ourselves. We were taught to survive, not slow down. 3, we don't want to inconvenience anybody. You ever swallow your pain because you didn't want to bring down the mood or to kill the vibe? Or you didn't want to be seen as the person crying all the time? And 4, we're scared of what would happen if we actually stop functioning. Like if I let myself sit still for a little while. If I let myself feel all of this, will I fall apart? Will I be able to get back up? And here's one more that nobody talks about. Sometimes functioning is safer than feeling. See, feeling requires honesty. Feeling requires stillness. And feeling means facing things you've been running from. And that takes courage. Being a functional griever works for a while, but eventually, the cost of being a functional griever starts showing up. And it can show up as emotional numbness. You're present, but not really. You laugh, but it doesn't hit the same. It can show up as exhaustion. Functioning through grief drains you in ways that sleep cannot fix. It can show up as irritability. See, the smallest things can set you off. It can show up as forgetfulness. Your brain is overloaded. Grief can literally impact your memory and your focus. And it can also show up as anxiety. So your mind is trying to manage emotions that your heart hasn't processed yet. It can also show up as physical symptoms such as headaches, chest tightness, stomach issues, fatigue, even tension in your shoulders or your jaw. See, grief doesn't just live in your mind, it also lives in your body. If you've ever been experiencing any of this, your body might be telling you to slow down. I need a minute. I need space to feel this. Not because you're failing, but because you're human. See, the part that scares functional grievers is slowing down. Because the moment you pause, even if it's just for a second, everything you've been holding in starts to rise up. Maybe you cry. Maybe a wave of sadness shows up. Maybe you feel the heaviness in your chest, or maybe your thoughts finally get loud enough that you can't ignore it. And you know what? All of that is normal. When you stop functioning long enough to feel, your heart finally says, okay, she's listening now. And I know it's uncomfortable. I know it feels hard, but this is a start to actual healing. Not pretending and no longer performing, but healing. So let's talk about some real practical ways to do both. 1, give yourself permission to not be okay. Say it out loud. Today is heavy, and that's okay. You don't have to be the strong one every day. 2, create small emotional check-ins. Just give yourself 5 minutes to check in with yourself every day. 3, use journaling as your safe space. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Where is this showing up in my body, and what do I need? And then 4, stop running from the triggers and slow down long enough to notice what they are. And then 5, allow one emotion a day. Each day, you're going to give yourself permission to feel one emotion a day, whether that's anger, sadness, or the need to cry. Whatever it is, give yourself permission to feel the emotion. And then last, build yourself a healing community. You do not have to do this alone. You deserve a safe space with other women who get it. If you haven't already, head over to my school community so we can keep the conversation going in a safe, non-judgmental space with other women who are also on their healing journey. Just click the link in the show notes and it'll take you over to the school community. So what does being a functional griever look like from a faith perspective? See, God never asks you to fake your strength. He never asks you to pretend that you're not grieving. God will meet you right where you are, in the tears and in the moments you don't know what to talk about. So let's recap. Being a functional griever doesn't mean you're failing. Life doesn't stop for grief, but you still deserve to slow down. Functioning is survival, but healing requires honesty. One moment of honesty can break years of emotional silence. So here's a journal prompt I want to leave with you for the week. Where am I functioning instead of feeling? And what is one small thing I can do this week to support myself? Thank you for spending time with me today. If today's episode spoke to you, take a moment, follow the podcast, and leave a review. It helps another woman find the hope she's been praying for.